Good morning, everybody, and afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Anna.
This is Jim and Anna, and our show Live with Jim and Anna. Hope everybody's doing well. Jim, where are you these days?
Well, I'm in Los Angeles at the moment, but I'll be headed back to Baltimore tomorrow through Chicago. And so I've been paying attention to the weather forecasts
Oh,
because
I hope all
I
goes
could,
well.
well, if not, I'll be calling you from Houston where I diverted to, okay?
Well, I was stuck in Houston last week for 4 hours, so there you go.
Well,
United.
our clients just think we run around in airplanes to get all these frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, we do. Just tell them the truth. Tell them the truth, Jim. We also do that so we can sit at the United Club and have some wine and crackers while working, of course. Okay, Jim. So we a theme for today's discussion is you've been hacked, or we have been hacked. So what we want to do is we want to open up the floor for questions. We have this one major question that we want to discuss with you, and if you guys have questions, please on your screen, on the YouTube screen that you're watching, on the left-hand side at the bottom, there's a box where you can click and submit a question, and we will be happy to answer your question live. If it doesn't come in live, then we'll get back to you after our show. So, Jim, do you want to take a shot at this? Earth to Jim, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you just fine.
Oh.
So
Well,
the question is, Jim, we've been hacked, and that's actually a very true question from about a week
yes.
ago. So let's discuss what has happened and what kind of steps and precautions we have taken up until today.
Well, thank you, Anna, for the opportunity to answer that question. But let's rephrase it. I was hacked. In my way of doing things, we get a lot of emails, and I think what I did was I put in my username and password for somebody who's sending me a supposedly secure email, and that's the way they got my password. So what the bad guys did was they went in and they put they scanned all my email correspondence because I don't keep a contact list there, and they sent out an email that allegedly was from me. And so a number of people got caught up in the same scam that I did. And you told me the other day a couple of our clients had actually sent that to you again.
Exactly,
So,
same exact email came to me.
and you
Yes.
did some research on that, and you found out that this is an old scam that's sort of resurfacing.
Yes, I just from the reading that I've done, this is the first because what I did is I Googled the subject of the email that because I received the email from you too. I was one of the recipients on the list among those 500 other people. So I just Googled it, and there's a lot of different articles. So yes, this is nothing new. So this is just resurfacing again, at least starting this year. So a few clients have responded back, wondering, if this was a really true email that we sent, which was good on their part. They didn't just assume that whatever Jim sends is, whatever Anna sends is a good and legitimate email.
Right.
So we appreciate that. Appreciate you being cautious.
And
Um,
just the other day, since I'm so sensitive to it, one of our longtime clients sent me a really beautiful looking email saying, I put up my statements in the Dropbox. Well, we don't use Dropbox, but we know what it is. And I almost clicked on that, and then I thought, this looks too good. And so I sent her a separate email, and of course, she'd been hacked, and she's on the Dropbox, where we're on the Google Doc scam. So there's a number of those out, and one of the things that I've been getting ready for is the last Sunday in March. I was going to do, and I still am, a webinar for all of our clients, no cost for other people, just $20 on cybersecurity. And so I've been developing that in coordination with some of our other colleagues and providers to come up with an up-to-the-minute how you can really protect yourself if you're operating on the internet, as most of us do. And in fact, earlier today, you and I were talking about two-step verification, which is one of my responses that I had instituted on some of my other accounts. I hadn't done it on my Gmail account, but now I've done it for all of my email accounts, two-step verification. And what that means is, in most cases, once I sign in with my username, it sends me a text message with a string of numbers. I type in the numbers, and then I can type in my password. So nobody can get into my email accounts, whether they're personal or business, without having my cell phone in their possession also. So it's a two-step process. My bank already does it. Actually, my bank, which is USAA, has face recognition on my iPhone.
That's too cool. I saw that.
and what I do is I look into the camera, I blink, it goes click, takes a picture, and in about 5 seconds it lets me into my accounts if it recognizes my face. And I noticed one time when I did it in very poor light, it says, "No, we can't recognize your face." And so my bank also has voice recognition. So more and more financial institutions and financial services providers and services companies like us are going to two-step verification just to protect people's privacy.
Right. Well, one of the things, one of the concerns was from the list of contacts who received your email was, well, if your email was hacked, how about and this was a client wondering what happens to their personal information, their statements, their documents. So maybe we could address that, Jim. How is your email connected to all of our other systems, and was anything impacted by that?
Well, our email is not connected to our other systems. We use box.com for storage of client files, which is encrypted up and encrypted down. And the only thing that we do is send links to our clients who already have to have a box.com account. So we're not sending email attachments anymore as much as possible in email. And even when we do things like a financial statement or a spending plan, we only use first names. We don't use account numbers, dates of birth, or anything like that. So our practice all along has been to minimize personal information on people. So if we did send it by the internet, we're not exposing them to data that the bad guys can use to hack their accounts.
Right. Okay. Well, let's see. Just a reminder for those of you who are listening, the floor is open for questions. We're just kind of chatting here and discussing what has happened with us. I don't see any questions come through, but we'll give them just a minute. One of the things that, so once we learned that Jim's account was hacked, and the way we learned is that we started getting an enormous amount of emails saying, "Did you send this? Did you send this?" Then we knew.
And telephone calls too.
And telephone calls. So
both of my sons called, my cousin,
So obviously the first step is we change the password. But what I also learned in my research about the scam is, has to do with Gmail accounts. If you have a Gmail account, there are options to set up filters, which filter emails from different contacts. So one of the things that these hackers could have done with Jim's account is set up filters to maybe preclude Jim from receiving emails from me or whoever the most emailed contact. So that was one of the suggestions. Change your password, clean up your filters to make sure that you are still receiving emails that you're expecting to receive. Sorry, I just wanted to mention, and then implement the two-step verification process. And after we finish this talk, in the comment section underneath this video, we'll post a couple of resources that we used to get ready for this. And the two-step verification process is available not only for Google accounts. We learned it's for Yahoo accounts as well, right, Jim? For Hotmail,
AOL, all of the major providers now have two-step verification. And I did want to go back and talk about the filters. For
Okay.
people that have Gmail accounts, there's a wheel in the top right-hand corner, and it's a drop-down menu. After you click on the wheel, you go to Settings, and then up at the top there's about 8 words. One of those words, they're all in blue, is Filters. I went in, clicked on that, and that malware put in about 8 filters, which I deleted, and that's how I didn't get a lot of notification that other people had gotten this bad message, and it was going to not let me find out from people because it was filtering the returns. Anything that said secure message in there wasn't coming to my inbox, so I deleted those.
Okay. Well, one of the step further that we're working on right now is to implement a password manager. So this concept has been around for some time, and so there's a couple of providers out there. I'm not going to talk about any one in particular, but the idea is that in old days, or even in today's environment, we still write, at least I do. I mean, there's so many different accounts we have to be able to log in. So how do you remember your passwords? And all of them have to be whatever number of letters, capital, character. So it's hard to keep track of all of that. And just I end up writing it in my little notebook. But I do realize that that's not the most secure way. And then I always have to worry about carrying it with me. So these password managers allow you to keep your passwords in one central place. And so there's a main password, a major password for you to get into that particular account. So we're working on instituting that on the top of our two-step verification process. And what I also learned in doing research about the password managers is that this main login into the actual vault that holds all your passwords also has a two-step verification process. So it's like two-step verification process, a very strong password, then you get, for example, to your email, and then two-step verification process, and then the actual password. So doing something like that is probably going to drive you crazy, but that's I think the securest of securest ways to get there. I know you're laughing, Jim, but
that's because by the time I do all that, a half an hour will have gone by, and I don't have time to reply to the emails.
No, well, these password managers kind of work pretty quick. So you have one major strong password, and then the two-step, the code you put in, and then you should be in business. But yeah,
it was just your explanation was going on so long, I could see how long it was going to take us to do that. Anyway, so we'll report back in our next hangout how well our implementation has gone in using the automated password generation and retention. The other thing is, when we do our annual reviews with people, we've added to our checklist a digital control plan, because everybody needs to have a digital control plan. As you know, my best friend died a couple of years ago, and I had his envelope with his secret passwords in my safe, and he had mine in his safe. Everybody needs a digital control plan, because if you're not around, who's taking over your digital life? So that's another important feature that everybody needs to consider. Yesterday on the news, I saw that Facebook now gives you an option for someone, if you're not around, to take over your account and manage it or delete it or whatever. So more and more providers in the social media area are offering a digital control function, and so we personally believe everybody should have one for their whole digital life.
Well, I have an example. Last week I got a new computer, and so because I've had the old computer for a number of years, old laptop, I never had to remember my password to Skype. And we, in our business, we live on Skype. That's how we communicate. So I have been without Skype for the last week because I don't remember my password. And when I try to reset it, Skype has very, very rigid process. Complete the form. When I open the account, all kinds of questions. And I've done it 3 times, and they still cannot verify my account. And so if I don't provide them all the information they need, I'm not going to get my Skype account. So so much for being insecure, but it would be a big loss because I have all my contacts there. So I'm a little sad. I'm waiting patiently, but it's been a week. So, and it's just a Skype account. It's not an account at the bank. It's not a credit card. It's not an email. It's a Skype account, a free account. Anyway, so there's all these kinds of hurdles we have to go through, but I think it's only for the best, for our own protection.
Okay. Well, time's up, Anna.
Time's up. I know. No questions. Well, we're around. If there are questions, connect with us on any social media or send us an email, and we'll see you next month.
And look for the promotion on cybersecurity. I believe it's March 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be sending out a couple of announcements and a little poster I've got. And I'll be happy to take more questions at the end of that discussion also.
Sounds good. Okay, everybody have a good weekend. Bye, Jim.